kidding. I'm just hanging out in the van on a rainy day, trying to keep warm. And I had this memory pop in my head and just started cracking up about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to share it because maybe you guys will think it's funny too. But years ago, like in the early 2000s, I was still living in Statesville, North Carolina. And I fell in love with my first lady. And I was maybe 17 or 18 and she was about 21, like scandalous, but also she could get booze. So that was fun. But she was so cool and she was gorgeous. And she was also, an African-American queen. And, we hit it off. We just right off the bat, we hit it off and we were just like stuck at the hip. And one day I was like, hey, do you want to go to the bar? And she said, no, let's save some money. Let's go to the liquor house. And I was like, oh, you mean like the ABC store? And she said, no, the liquor house. And my white ass did not know what she was talking about. But later that evening after I got off work, that's important to the story because I worked at Red Lobster at the time. And we went to the South Side in Statesville. If you know, you know. And one thing about Statesville, I think that it has similar with so many other cities in America, especially in the early 2000s, and still now, is that like there wasn't a lot to do, but we did a lot, you know? So she took me to the South Side and we went in this house that was like kind of in the back area, and we had to go through like a lot of dark rooms. And finally I could hear people, I could smell party. And we got to this room and it was smoky. It was such a scene. And I was the only white person there for sure. And you could hear like the record scratch, like they all just turned and started looking. I'll remember this for the rest of my life. And two of the gentlemen there pulled their shirts up, exposing their pistols. And I was definitely like, oh crap. Also, a little reminder, just to paint the scene a little bit better for you. Like I said, I worked at Red Lobster, and back in the early 2000s, Red Lobster's uniform consisted of a very vibrant tropical themed shirt, like a button down, with like palm trees and a huge parrots, but one specifically right here. I always hated it because I felt like it was looking at me. And also I had like really long, thick brown hair. I was standing out. I mean, I usually do, but I was not fitting in multiple ways in that room. And I remember asking her too, I was like, why didn't you tell me to change? And she's like, I thought it'd be funny. But yeah, I remember her consistently having to tell people, it's okay, she's with me. It's okay, she's with me. I realized pretty quickly she thought it would be funny, but also she knew I would fit in, and I did, because I'm kind. I treat people with kindness, and I had a damn ball. If you don't know what a liquor house is, it's basically a not super legal bar in someone's house. They do not exist anymore. They're not a thing anymore. So Iredell County Police Department, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. Y'all just need to calm down in general, but that's a whole other thing. I respect you. I went to high school with half of them. It's fine. But yeah, and you know, they would go buy a bunch of expensive bottles of liquor and replace that with cheap liquor and sell it to you for super cheap. I remember shots were like $1 each or something. And they would smoke and have a good time, and they would play spades. That was the big thing. We all would play spades, and I was good at it. I remember learning with them, and I was good at it. And it was a shit talking game, so it could get a little dangerous because alcohol and you need to watch what you say. I learned that the hard way, but not too bad. I will say the only game, in my experience, the only game more dangerous than spades is Uno. If you know, you know. Like, we never played Uno in the liquor house because you can't play that when there's presents. That's just not. You think I'm kidding. But no, I think the thing that made me laugh the most about this memory is that now, nearly 20 years later, I still do the same thing. I'm still the token white person. Like, I don't even know how this is still happening, but like literally my best friend Lana, who's been on the channel, she's Kurdish. And this year she took me to an Arab's giving. And I know that most of them did not know I was coming. I was the only Caucasian. And definitely the record scratch moment happened. They were just like, nobody pulled. I think 2 or 3 of them whipped out a sheath, but I'm kidding. They're very nice, non-violent, lovely people, and they cook so good. So They use seasoning. Seasoning. I hope you enjoyed that. Lighthearted. Take it easy. Take it easy. Okay?